Hello fellow cinephiles, Film Guru here. Today I'm reviewing Aquaman. This was directed by James Wan, stars Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman and Willem Dafoe. And it really is the story of Arthur Curry. We get to see his beginnings of where his parents first met and how he was born, and ultimately him becoming the hero he becomes. Then the film really takes place after the events of the Justice League, after they've beaten Steppenwolf and the life he's trying to live now. And he's trying to be the hero everyone wants him to be, but he just doesn't know if he can. He finds out that he's the heir to the throne in Atlantis, and that he has a brother, and that this brother is in control and is beginning to involved in an impending war that will not only affect the Atlanteans, but will affect human beings as well. And ultimately he goes on a trip of a lifetime. And this adventure he goes on compels him to come to terms with his true identity. He has to take on his brother, played by Patrick Wilson, Orem. Ultimately has to defeat him and become the king and stop the impending war that's about to explode. So this adventure ultimately leads to a great battle at the end with all the Atlantean people battling each other. Look, I was interested in seeing this. I saw the trailer. I wasn't a big fan of the trailer. I just thought it would look too digital and the visual effects didn't quite look as good as I thought they could have been. But what drew me to this was James Wan. I've really enjoyed him as a filmmaker ever since Saw, and to see him come from Saw to this is quite an achievement. He's done some great horrors along the way. Death Sentence was a good sort of action film, and then he went on to do Fast and Furious 7 and now Aquaman. And I think he's quite a impressive director with what he's able to do and how far he's come from that first Saw film that he did with Lee Whannell. This is sort of up in the ante for him. It's the biggest film I think he's done, and there was a lot riding on this film for him to get this right, because the DC universe hasn't had a really great film, not since Wonder Woman, and there was a lot of hopes pinned to this film to be good. And look, at the most part it was entertaining. I felt this film was okay. It wasn't spectacular, it wasn't as good as I thought it could have been, but it wasn't terrible either. It was watchable and I did enjoy aspects of it, but I didn't enjoy everything about it. There were some good things and bad things that I liked and didn't like. So ultimately, I'll start with the stuff I did like. I really liked Jason Momoa. I think he's a really great and talented sort of man, and I think he does really great here as this character. You really get behind him, and I really like to see much more of him. I think Nicole Kidman's really fantastic. The last couple of roles I've seen her in, I'm starting to enjoy her more. As you've probably seen from my previous reviews, I haven't been a huge fan of her, but I think she does really great in this. She has a really great fight sequence at the start, and there's some really great moments with her that I really thoroughly enjoyed. I liked the first 40 minutes to an hour. I thought that was kind of interesting. We got to see Arthur Curry's parents meeting and how he was born, and we got to see him learning throughout the film and becoming the man he becomes when we see him. I really liked a lot of the action sequences that were well put together. The battle at the end is really fantastic and well shot, and I was impressed with that. I liked the introduction to him in this film. To me, this film really is a superhero film wrapped up in an adventure film. It feels like there's moments of a superhero film, but there's moments of films like Indiana Jones and Tomb Raider and movies like that. That sort of, there's this quest that he has to go on and ultimately to find this trident and what he has to go through in doing that. And there's a lot of Greek mythology, I feel, in it. The quest, a lot like Homer's The Odyssey, Arthur Curry goes on, the adventure that he does have, and what he has to do and ultimately to achieve what he needs to. I think Patrick Wilson did a solid job and was kind of an interesting sort of villain, and he's an actor who I've really thoroughly enjoyed, and this is the 5th time he's worked with James Wan, with previously working on 2 Insidious films and the 2 Conjuring films, and he's a solid actor. I've enjoyed him as an actor since Hard Candy in his early film. Now the things that I didn't thoroughly enjoy, there's probably more things I didn't enjoy in the film than I did ultimately enjoy, was I didn't like a lot of the underwater stuff. I thought the visual effects weren't great, and it just, I don't know, with the hair blowing like they're underwater, it just didn't quite work for me, and I didn't thoroughly enjoy that. I did enjoy the cities that we got to see, the Atlantean cities. They looked kind of interesting and well done. They're all different, and the people who inhabited them, and some of the darker creatures of that world. I thoroughly enjoyed all of that. I thought that was really well done. But it's just a lot of the underwater sequences I didn't care for. There was some misplaced humour that didn't quite work for me. There was a forced relationship that I didn't ultimately like or enjoy that much. It felt a bit cheesy and dorky, and I guess that was what they were sort of going for in a way, being self-aware of how Aquaman hadn't been a really interesting character for a long time. He was kind of a boring character in the comics, and they tried to do something different with this, and I think James Wan did a great job there. I think some of the performances weren't great, and there was just moments that they couldn't seem to get the tone right, whether they're going through for a cheesy comedy or an action film or what. It was sort of a bit hard to connect to any of that. I thought the camera work was really well done. Like I said, the action sequences were really well shot and just something different, and they were done differently. And these were the aspects of the film I did enjoy. I liked Mira, who wasn't a character that needed to be saved by anybody but did the saving. I thought she was a very interesting character as well. There's some great transition shots that James Wan does where something will happen, the camera will pan one way and go into a next scene. I was really impressed with that, but it sort of didn't keep that up throughout the film. That was only sort of at the beginning, but I did like that aspect to it. I think he's a solid filmmaker, and he knows how to frame things and what needs to go within a shot, and he can create a lot of drama, I think, in the aspects of where he needs to. And I'm kind of interested to see what he does next, because I think his career's taken off. Another thing I really did like in it is a cameo by Lee Winnell, his old partner from Saw. And I liked that he was in this, and it's a small little cameo role, but I thoroughly enjoyed that he was in it. And I don't doubt that Aquaman's going to make a lot of money and do well, and audiences will probably enjoy it. Final verdict. Look, this film, I don't know if it'll be for everyone. If you want something with a bit more depth and better done, you might enjoy other films, such as Wonder Woman. I still think that's the best film that's come out of the DC universe, even though I'm a fan of Man of Steel and Batman v Superman. But if you like the sort of Justice League sort of films, if you like the superhero thing, you might enjoy this. If you want to look at a superhero in a different way, you might enjoy this as well. And if you're a fan of Jason Momoa like I am, you'll probably like it as well. I don't doubt it's going to do really well at the box office and make a lot of money, and it will be another successful film from DC. Will prove that these guys are still making good movies, but it'll be interesting to see what they do after this and how well this and Wonder Woman are doing, and to see if they're going to continue on doing some more Superman or Justice League Part 2. We'll see what happens there. I think this film is a little better than Justice League, but only a bit. I'm going to give Aquaman 3.5 out of 5. Like I said, there's elements to it I enjoyed, there's things I didn't, but it was okay. I didn't hate it, and I did enjoy a lot of aspects to it. Anyway, that's all from me today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit subscribe down the bottom. Follow me on Facebook. Otherwise, until next time, enjoy the movies.